Design number 8, a small country house with kitchen wing, a floor plan from 1857. After doing some research in the 1864 city directory for Newburgh, New York, I found Mr. R.L. Case living at 333 Grand. Thanks to Google Maps, I took a trip to the address and believe it is the same house from these plans. I also confirmed through the tax assessor's website that the house was built in 1857. I will leave a link in the description below. This design was prepared and executed for Mr. R.L. Case of Newburgh, and the general idea of the plan includes so much that is called for by the American climate and habits of life in the northern states, that it will probably be better worth the attention of those who wish to build a moderate-sized cheap house with a kitchen above ground than many other plans of more pretension. It possesses one convenient quality which some other styles of plans cannot be arranged to include, for it admits of many modifications without sacrificing its advantages. It may be completely altered in outside appearance and doubled in extent of interior accommodation and yet be in reality the same plan. It can be adapted to almost any situation by a proper arrangement of the roofs. Thus, for example, on an elevated and somewhat open site, such as the one that Mr. Case's house occupies, a roof of only moderate pitch is desirable. On level ground, or in a valley, a high-pitched roof should be preferred. It is also an economical plan for the accommodation afforded, as will be seen by the particulars or costs that are annexed. The house, as now finished, is constructed with an 8-inch brick wall, furred off outside, and covered with clapboards in the ordinary way followed in a wooden building. This plan of construction was adopted in accordance with the special request of the proprietor, who preferred it to any other method. Its advantages are that it secures to a certainty a perfectly dry interior wall. On the other hand, it seems undesirable to have a brick house and to give it the appearance of a wooden one, as brick is the superior and more durable-looking material. The accommodation may be thus described. A veranda porch on the east provides a covered approach to the front door. The principal hall, 11 feet 6 inches by 10 feet, gives access to the parlor and library, both of which are on the south of the house, and also to the dining room. Another door opens onto a staircase hall, which is easily accessible either from the principal rooms or from the kitchen wing. This is desirable, as the scale of the house would not warrant a second staircase. An east and a south veranda are supplied to the principal rooms, but each has windows that are unobstructed by any veranda. The dining room connects through a pantry with the kitchen wing, which is also approached from the main body of the house under the staircase. A lobby opens onto a kitchen veranda, facing south, that provides a servant's entrance and is convenient for hanging out clothes under cover in rainy weather. A kitchen, 17 feet by 13 feet, fitted up with closets, wash trays, and storeroom, completes the accommodation on the main floor and wing. By this plan, the disadvantages of living in the basement are entirely avoided, and the lady of the house can superintend her servants with ease and comfort. In the chamber plan will be found 5 bedrooms and a bathroom and water closet, and in the wing 2 bedrooms, a linen press, and a housemaid sink. All these rooms are supplied with registers near the ceiling that communicate with foul air flues separate from the chimney flues. In the garret over the bathroom is a large, well-lighted linen room, and as this is planned on the half landing, it is very easy of access from the chamber floor. A large storeroom, the size of the bedroom over the dining room, is finished off under the roof in a common way and is secured with a door after being enclosed from the stairs by a plastered partition. The remainder of the space is open and unplastered. It makes a very roomy garret, with plenty of headway all over it. But the windows in the peaks are, of course, close to the floor, and it was never intended that any bedrooms should be fitted up here. The roof is covered with shingles, the flat being floored and covered with canvas. In the basement are cellars and furnace room, the kitchen wing foundations not being carried down farther than was necessary to keep clear of frost. And in this house special precaution was taken, by Mr. Case's request, with regard to the plumber's work. All the pipes, hot, cold, and waste, were enclosed in a tin envelope fitted tolerably closely to the pipes. As the work proceeded, this tin case was soldered up every here and there, and particularly where the pipe is led through the wall, in the first instance, and where it starts from the boiler. By this means the little insects that work their way from below, and are often found about water fixtures in rooms, are prevented from crawling up and down, and breeding among the warm pipes, as they are tempted to do in many situations. The carpenter's contract for this house was taken at $3,500, the mason's at $2,500, the remainder of the work was done by the day. After the contracts had been made, the proprietor left the work entirely in the hands of the architect. and, with the exception that hard walls were substituted for brown walls throughout, and that some trifling alterations were made in the arrangements for the linen press, the plans, as signed, were faithfully executed for the contract amount, without any difficulty whatever. The carpenter's and mason's extras, which amounted to $350, included the change from brown wall to hard finish, and all the work appertaining to a large outbuilding at some distance from the house.